the show. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And here are the goods. The first of 2018.
Yes.
We've been gone for a while.
I say yes because I'm like, we're a little late in the 2018, but we're here now.
Yes, we are here now, and you know what? The Christmas show wasn't what we wanted it to be, so sorry about the audio, but...
God, please, forgive us. I know you guys watch this and you put up with a whole bunch of stuff that we do, bad lighting, us making mistakes on the show, but if you can, please,
forgive
audio.
Us. Yeah. Either that or we'll just scrap the Christmas show because we
will never do Christmas shows again. You heard it here first.
All right, so we start off with the box office, first of 2018, and as expected, we got a brand new number one.
Yeah.
What was not expected is that it was not a brand new movie. After being out for 3 weeks and getting dogged by The Last Jedi, Jumanji takes over number one.
You know what? There has been a lot of positive buzz about this movie. People say it's really, really funny. I did not give this movie a chance at all, so I'm actually gonna go see this movie now.
Is it because of the Robin Williams factor, or because you can't stand Kevin Hart?
I can't stand Kevin Hart.
All right.
I can't stand Kevin Hart, and I don't really watch any of his movies. And I have to put that aside and say that every movie is like a new book. I can't judge this book based on the other crappy books that I read. This one's a brand new book, and from what I hear, it's a really good job. Hey, I liked him in Secret Life of Pets.
But you said because the rabbit fits him.
Yes, the rabbit fits him, and it was amazing. So maybe the character that he plays in this is just not scary little, scary small black man.
No, it is.
I'm already regretting my whole thought to want to go see this movie.
$37 million, not too bad. It's already grossed $500 million, so that's, The Rock is back after that bombshell of a freaking dud that Baywatch was.
Look, y'all support this movie and y'all support Baywatch. This is unfair. This is so unfair.
I thought The Rock
watch Baywatch.
I thought The Rock did Baywatch because he wanted to have some fun. I loved Baywatch. Nobody else did, but whatever. Anyway, great bounce back by him on that. Number two, this was a shock to me because I thought this was actually going to be number one because horror does pretty much okay in January.
Yeah.
Insidious, The Last Key, was number two with $29 million. Now, if you're a fan of the Insidious franchise, you're going to be completely disappointed in this movie. Terrence, what did you think about this one?
Okay, well, so I got some things. All right, so this is this was under Blumhouse, right?
I have no idea.
Okay, I can't. I believe it's under Blumhouse, and
James Wan was the executive producer.
Yeah, so $29 million for Blumhouse is always a victory, but is it a victory in this franchise that is on its fifth movie? Fourth movie. $29 million, and that's what you're making on this movie. I mean, they keep the production budget so low that if they made $5, they're good. It was like, hey, we made a profit. So the movie itself was not needed.
Number three was Star Wars: The Last Jedi. After being in the number one spot for 3-4 weeks, it drops down to number three with $23 million.
Hey, it's still making money, so.
Movie's already made $1 billion, cracked the 20. Completely bombs in China though.
Bombs in China.
$28 million in China.
Come on, man, quit doing this to me.
Now this movie's made $570 million domestically, so it's on its way to 600. It'll probably hit that this week. Disney was really counting on that China market because it's so big, and nothing. But hey, that new Transformers movie.
That's what they need to do.
Michael Bay will be.
That's what they need to do. They need to cross this over. Or, you know what, just when a new Star Wars movie comes out, when Episode 9 comes out, just call it Transformers. They will go see it in droves, man. And people will go out there, look, it's a new Transformer movie.
But he looks like Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, they'll just wait for the millennium. They'll wait for the Falcon. Yeah, they'll wait for the Falcon to transform.
Oh man, that's awful. Well, anyway, Greatest Showman, number 4.
Wow, surprising.
Number 4, 13 million. Still doing moderately well, considering that it was a musical. But you know what?
Hugh Jackman in a musical?
Hugh Jackman can rock it. It's good to see freaking Zac Efron in something else other than a freaking raunch comedy. So that's stretching the acting shot.
Getting out of his frat boy.
Yeah, exactly. Going back to his High School Musical days where he's singing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean that's why when he was casting it, I was like, I can see it.
Speaking of singing, Pitch Perfect 3, number 5, closes it out with $10 million. The movie's only made over $70 million. Not that big of a hit. I mean, sequel fatigue, I guess.
Well, the second one wasn't that great, and So the third one, I think people were just kind of over this whole franchise.
I think so too. It was just one karaoke movie. Karaoke.
It's just like you can karaoke again, karaoke some more.
And
it was like
there's some dancing in it.
And it was the point of the second movie was about them trying to break out of that. Like, you know, this is not what kind of who we are. And then it just really got back to like, no, this is all we are. We're all we are karaoke people. That's all we are. We keep trying to make the stage bigger for karaoke, but trust me, karaoke's not that big.
So so for the coming up this week, we're gonna have 4 new movies. I'm kind of curious about one of them, but The Post with Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep, directed by Steven Spielberg. Good drama. Spielberg behind the camera with Hanks and Streep, can't go wrong. No. So we'll see how that one does. Paddington 2 for the family. You know,
they made a sequel to them.
They made a sequel to Paddington 2, and
it's like 5 years late.
And the reviews there that it's actually pretty freaking good.
Well, the first one they got good reviews, but I'm like, this movie's like 5 years late.
Well, that bear needed to. Either way, but it's actually opened in the UK back in November, so it's in the United States that it's barely opening. So hopefully that does pretty well. This one I don't want to see, but they made it anyway. Proud Mary with Taraji P. Henson.
I'm mildly curious in this.
Is that your blackness talking?
It's one. It's gonna be February. It's gonna be Black History Month. You know, they gotta push all the black movies out. We got Proud Mary. We got Black Panther coming out. You gotta get them all out right now. I kind of want to see it. It only disappoints me a little bit because I kind of wanted. Well, we already got it. I was gonna say I kind of wanted to see this be done by Tarantino, but he did Jackie Brown, so we already saw this movie. So let's see how somebody else can deal with Black.
So this is Atomic Black.
It's Atomic Black. That's hilarious.
Oh
sir.
man!
That's
so
hilarious.
Taraji P. Henson is basically playing Cookie from Empire with a gun.
With a gun.
So yeah,
Cookie from Empire.
Cookie from Empire. Proud Cookie.
Proud Cookie.
And the one that I'm actually curious about is actually The Commuter. With Liam Neeson. So
Taken on a train.
Taken on a train. Non-stop. Because that was the other movie, Non-Stop.
That's right. He already did this movie, didn't he? He totally did this movie already.
Throw some rules on it. Put it to great
This
tune.
is Non-Stop 2.
Yeah. Directed by the director from Non-Stop.
He already did this movie.
So I'm curious to see because, you know, it looks like it's pretty interesting. It's like, you know, Under Siege 2.
Taken on a train. Under Siege 2 or Under Siege was Speed on a boat.
No, Under Siege was on a train. It was Die Hard on a train.
Oh, it was Die Hard on a train.
Yeah. So this is Die Hard.
I'm lost in these puns now. I don't know where I'm at anymore. I'm thinking too hard.
So I'm curious to see which ones is gonna take Jumanji's top spot. I'm actually going with Paddington 2. That's potentially gonna be the one.
Number one?
Number one.
No.
For family.
No.
All right. I guess my theory's wrong.
It's gonna be Proud Mary.
All right. Proud Cookie. So speaking of Black History Month, Black Panther trailer.
Yeah.
Had a new trailer come out for the TV spot in the middle of the national championship game. Crazy ass freaking ending, but hey, congratulations, Alabama.
Hey, you know what? Michigan did make it. I don't care.
All right. So the trailer came out for Black Panther.
Right.
Got some pretty cool shots of the movie. I thought that the way Coogler is directing this movie it's like his flavor with the MCU backing. I think it's going to be an awesome movie. What do you think about the trailer?
Well, by the way, so I saw the trailer. Maybe my eyes aren't as eagle eye as they used to be. The age catching up with me. I didn't see anything new in this trailer, and I know like they like to do like little small quick clips so that way they don't spoil too much of the movie by showing you.
He had Andy Serkis in it and a little bit more, and he's not playing Caesar this time.
I mean,
I forgot what he looked like.
For the most part,
he's been playing Caesar in motion capture.
For the most part, he's not even the biggest part of this movie, and it's like, why do I need to see more of him? I'm gonna see that one scene when he's in that room with his one arm tied to a chair. I'm gonna see that the first 5 minutes of the movie when it comes out anyway. So like, why are y'all spoiling that? Let his scene be in the movie. But I'm still excited about this movie. I think I'm done watching trailers for this movie. I think I just want to wait till February gets here when Black History Month. When that gets here, so I can just enjoy it for what it is and have it fresh, be a fresh impression of it as opposed to me just kind of like, oh, that scene's coming up, that scene's coming up.
So we were watching it and you were talking about how that...
Like I was spoiling it for myself anyway. We were watching all the international trailers and stuff like that. I was like, you put them all together, it's a whole fucking movie.
When all over again. With the circus when he says that the third world country's the front.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was
the front.
It was the front. It was like they got all this technology and money, and I was like, so what did they get people to just come out there? And I was like, hey, it's your turn to be out there and to do the Ethiopian video.
Hey, put the flies on the
Some flies in your face, and you're gonna sit there.
Don't feed him unless he looks hungry.
Suck in your stomach. You look too fat. You look like you've been eating. Suck it in. Suck it in. And then they do like a pan of the background, and they're like, hey, what's that building back there? Don't worry about the man behind the curtain. Freaking awful. It was stupid. I was like, we've been there.
It gave me a big time Coming to America.
Really?
With Lion King.
Like Coming to America if he didn't come to America?
Right. Staying in Wakanda.
Staying in Wakanda.
Staying in Wakanda. That's what I got from that. Beautiful shot movie though. There's some really great visuals. The way he uses the way Coogler has some of the colors, especially.
Color's a big thing in this movie.
It's beautiful. It is. It absolutely is. Coogler's up and coming. Did great with Fruitville. Now he's Station. Now he's he just did Creed.
Yeah.
And that was absolutely amazing what he did. So I'm really liking the way he is approaching his first MCU property.
Yeah. I hope it goes well and it ends up being like the I'm about to say the Wachowskis, who directed Russo's, where like he does such a great job and then they give him other MCU properties and they're like, hey, let's see what you can do with this one. Let's see what you can do with this one. I like to see other takes. Russo's can't do everything, so I like to see other takes on everything. And I believe we're supposed to get Favreau back for another movie.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. Hopefully. So I want him to become a staple. Like I said,
like Favreau.
Yeah.
Because Favreau was
like Favreau, like the Russos. Like if he does a great job,
produced Avengers.
Yeah.
Favreau did. So if Coogler can get and start executive producing or producing others, I mean, he's already producing Creed. He's gonna executive produce Creed too. So, I could definitely see that.
Like, thumbs up for you, sir.
Kendrick Lamar soundtrack. What do you think?
I'm remembering the days of like all the Master P movies that came out where the soundtrack was way better than the movie.
I remember those days. I got the hookup.
Those days, and I'm hoping that look, it would be great because if you think about movies like Blade. Especially like when Blade 2 came out, it was
completely different, movie. But completely different type of style of music with Blade because you got Black Panther and it's got that hip hop, gritty type of sound. Mm-hmm. Blade was like rave music.
Well, see, did you hear the soundtrack for it?
Yeah.
Or it's like one half of the soundtrack was all like house music, dance, electronica, and then the second half was rap. And it was like they made a focus and say like, hey, we blend both these two sounds. And they even had songs where like it was rap to an electronic beat. Yeah, so I was like, I bought the stupid album for Blade, the soundtrack for Blade 2, and I hardly ever buy soundtracks.
That's true.
Master P ones. So I'm excited to see what Kendrick does. I just hope that, like I said, Coogler, we're on your side. I hope that doesn't overshadow the movie to where everybody's like, it's a great album. The movie was okay.
So we're talking about how we think it's going to do. I think it's going to do great. Mm-hmm. Now I'm curious to this. Now we're talking about the box office on it, what it's going to open to.
Ooh.
Now, right now it's projected to do about 120, 130. I think that's a fair.
It's fair for a new property.
I think it's going to be lower though. I think it's going to be about 100.
I think it will come off as not a flop, but a disappointment for Marvel for them to open that low.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Doctor Strange opened at 88. Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna look back and it was like we're gonna look at Captain America and stuff like that. Those opened under 100, but we're not in the early stages of we're damn near in phase 4.
But wouldn't that be? Would comic book fatigue play a part in that then?
I mean,
because this is a brand new property we've never seen on screen before.
Exactly.
Besides Civil War,
we would say that comic book fatigue is going to will play a part in it, but people are so excited about freaking Infinity War.
That's very true.
So it's not. It's just that this is just a new property.
But that goes back to the whole continuity aspect that we were talking about because everybody's so they want to see how it wraps up. Mm-hmm. But going back on the Black Panther though, with it coming out on Black History Month, that's going to probably help. Because it's predominantly a black cast. It's BET's Iron Man.
It's BET's Iron Man.
Sorry. Maybe Bronze Man. So, it's gonna be, it's gonna be in there. Now, the thing that nobody's really talking about is Valentine's Day is the 14th.
You have
and that's 50 Shades more or less, because the 50 Shades opens on the 9th.
Right.
Then you got Valentine's Day. The next day is Black Panther, but 50 Shades is still going on.
Right.
So it's got to go against 50 Shades second week.
I don't think 50 Shades is gonna. I think 50 Shades lost some steam when the second movie came out.
You think it's gonna drop that second week? Because this is the climax.
I'm just saying.
This is the final.
What are you talking about? They're gonna milk another movie out.
They're gonna milk the climax. All right.
I don't think 50 Shades is gonna do that well.
For the second week or at all?
At all. I just think I think it's gonna disappoint when it comes out.
I don't think it's gonna do what Darker. I mean, well, Darker opened with 50 Shades Darker opened with John Wick and Lego Batman. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it opened with that. Now it's really opening against nothing.
It's really opening against nothing, and then it gets Valentine's Day,
and then
it's gonna get some money, but it's gonna disappoint for it's gonna be the worst one that makes money out of this.
You're
series.
Probably right, because it's a 3, but I'm really thinking that it's gonna affect. It's gonna affect.
It's not like a bunch of white women are going to go see Black. Well, maybe.
They want to see that Michael B. Jordan.
Exactly, but
they want to see that.
I think it's two different audiences. The same way,
right? And that's why I say that. I think it's gonna take away.
I don't think it will, because it's not the same people that are gonna. The people who are gonna go see 50 Shades of Grey weren't gonna go see Black. Well, I keep saying that, but I keep thinking I was like, they probably are.
They probably are. Black Panther.
I don't think that they were. I think if you look at movies where, like, hey, a blockbuster came out and then a kids movie came out and the kids movie did well, and you thought like, hey, maybe the money should have been taken the other way. Like, this big blockbuster came out, it should have took away from the kid movie, and the kid movie still did really well, and it seems like it hurt the other one. This big blockbuster's coming out that's already on its third movie, trying to get your closure. I think it's gonna go. The money that it was gonna make is gonna end up going to Black Panther.
Yeah, maybe, possibly, especially since it's its second week.
And for all you interracial couples, go see Black Panther this Halloween. This Valentine's Day, go see Black Panther, or after Valentine's Day.
So Chadwick Boseman's in this movie. He's in a bunch of bios. Played Marshall. Played Jackie Robinson.
He plays everybody.
He plays everybody. So Black Panther's a true story.
It is.
All right. So in casting news, Batgirl topic. Batgirl's always been a topic since it came out. What was it? Last year, March of last year.
Right.
That Whedon was going to make this. That's pretty much before the Justice League reshoots was the reason why Joss Whedon came to DC in the first place. Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot of actresses that want to be in the Batgirl role.
I already know where you're going with this.
I gotta ask you, because Lindsay Lohan has posted a tweet throwing her name into the mix. This tweet has gotten 2,200 retweets to pretty much get some attention for Joss Whedon. Now after the Justice League, pretty much.
By the way, are they still doing this Batgirl movie? Because I thought it was kind of up in the air. Depending on how Justice League.
That's what I was about to get to with that. Justice League did not perform the way they wanted to. Things have changed. To me, I think they're going to use Flashpoint as a way to fix the entire DCEU. They've already canceled Deadshot with Will Smith. They canceled Lobo.
Deadshot didn't need a movie. Lobo needed a movie. Yeah. Deadshot didn't.
Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. Roman Reigns is Lobo. Oh, he's already Aquaman.
He's already Aquaman.
So Batgirl. So Batgirl, more than likely, it's in hiatus. A lot like the Gotham City Sirens, the Joker movie, and all that stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But if they do make it,
I don't want to see Lindsay.
Is Lindsay Lohan?
I don't want to. There's like tons of other redheads that they could do.
I got Anna Kendrick, man.
I mean, I could see them doing her.
I think Anna Kendrick would be an awesome Batgirl. She wants to be Squirrel Girl.
I would like her better as Squirrel Girl. I could see her being Batgirl, but she always seems so frail to me, and I was like, I can't see her being a superhero. And I was like, somebody would break you.
Bang!
I don't want to see Lindsay Lohan because I don't think she would give herself to this character. I think she would treat it as if it's a comic book movie and it's fun, the same way that happened in Ninja Turtles with
Megan Fox.
No, with Mel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think that she'd play it like Uma would play.
Like Poison Ivy.
Yeah. I think that would all depend on Whedon, to be honest.
It would depend on
how he would direct her.
Look, there's a bunch of young redheaded actresses out there right now. I'm gonna put up some pictures. Pick one of them. Anybody but Lindsay Lohan. Don't pick Lindsay Lohan. I don't want to see it. I think back to stuff like Machete, where like when I say give her all, I was like, maybe I just want to see her nude, because they CGI'd her nude boobs in Machete, and then in the movie about a porn star that deep throat, she wasn't naked in the movie.
No, she was not. It was a freaking made for TV, but she was naked in one of the I can't remember what the hell movie that was, but she was naked in one of these movies.
It's like, and Lindsay, if you can't give your all to be nude in your movies, you don't deserve to be my Batgirl.
That's right.
Because I need to Photoshop some stuff to put the Batgirl mask on you and stuff. And private thoughts.
All right. Sticking with the comics, Spider-Man: Homecoming 2 is going to be filming pretty soon.
All right.
Next appearance for Spider-Man
survives Infinity War.
Pretty much. Yes, he does. Next appearance is in Infinity War. That's when Holland and will be back on the screen as Spider-Man. So the second one, you know, there's a bunch of villains that they can throw out there, right? The biggest one they're talking about right now is Dr. Octopus, Doc Ock, which is pretty much kind of going along the lines of Raimi's, where Doc Ock wasn't a villain in part 2, so why not do it again in another part 2, right?
Okay. Right.
All right. So there's a name that was thrown out by a fan that posted a comment on it, and it's very interesting. He posted the idea of having Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill, playing Doc Ock. What do you think about that?
Actually, I think that would be pretty good. I wonder though that he may play it over the top, like he plays Joker, or when he was on Trickster. When he was on The Flash and he played the Trickster. I was like, I don't want to see over the top Doc Ock.
If they have a solid director to not and to maybe, you know, because Molina. The way Alfred Molina played Dr. Octopus.
Hey, one of the best superhero movies.
Nobody even saw that coming. Yeah. Because nobody liked that casting either.
Can we get him back?
Can we get him back? He's dead. He's dead. He died in the movie.
CGI, I'm just...
Okay, so after we talked about it, after Last Jedi has pretty much brought him back, making pretty much a solid comeback for Mark Hamill. Do you see him in another iconic character, or will you always see him as Luke Skywalker?
You always see him as Luke Skywalker. That's why he had to do voiceover stuff. You always see him as Luke Skywalker. That was his whole thing for his whole career. He couldn't get past that. I mean, we could accept that he is. I mean, look, we got over Michael Keaton being Batman, right? It's like we can move forward. You know, Michael Keaton did other things, but we haven't really seen him on screen outside of being Luke. So the first thing you're going to think, he was just Luke again. First thing you're going to think about is Luke as Doc Ock.
But and that's funny. But I like how because Batman is just as equally iconic, you know, as a property as Star Wars is.
But if you think about like Mark Hamill, it's like he couldn't get the roles that he wanted. If he did, he got something small and tiny. And it's like, we saw Michael Keaton in other things. Okay, we didn't see Mark Hamill in anything. And then his voice acting is what brought him back into the public eye.
Okay, but you see, now do you attribute that because of the timing of their movies and when they came out? If you really think about it, Hamill came out in '77 in Star Wars.
Hey, did you see Village of the Damned?
No, I did not.
Exactly. Mark Hamill was in that movie, by the way.
I know he was. So Star Wars, I mean, Empire Strikes Back was 80, and then Jedi was in 83.
Right.
And those movies were continuously playing on cable over and over and over and over again. And that's what we grew up to. He was not Batman Michael Keaton was not Batman until 89.
So he had already had a film career.
Right. He was already in Night Shift, Mr. Mom, Gung Ho, Johnny Dangerously, whatever, right? So you were used to him playing different roles.
Okay.
The only thing that we knew Mark Hamill was Luke Skywalker.
And it's the only thing we still know him for.
Right.
And the voice of Joker.
So now amazing is the voice of Joker. But now you fast forward to give him another iconic character from an acting standpoint. I'd love to see how it looks.
They wouldn't do it.
But with the public buy him.
No. That's why they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't. Like I said, you just saw, if he had not been, if this was his first role back and he hadn't done Force Awakens and The Last Jedi.
If he would have done Doc Ock first,
yeah, then I would have given him a shot. But now he's already been Luke twice. No, it's over. Sorry, Hamill. Same shit happened all over again. You got typecast as Luke Skywalker. Sorry.
Yeah. Now he's gonna be a Force Ghost too.
Now he's gonna be a Force Ghost.
All right. All right, this one's pretty interesting. Sticking with the comic news. All right, Sony Sony is actually bringing up this Valiant Comics Bloodshot movie.
Right. Everybody's trying to get in on the comic franchise.
Everybody, yeah, especially unknown properties. When you get into like Guardians of the Galaxy, nobody saw that coming, and boom, it came, and it's a freaking hit, right? Same with Doctor Strange in a way.
Right.
So Sony's got Bloodshot. They want Vin Diesel to play Bloodshot.
All right.
Or to play the title character.
Which I'm good with, and I heard a little bit about the story. By the way, I'm not a big Valiant. I read comic books, but I'm not a big Valiant fan. I'm aware of this character. There was a thing that came out with this as well, saying that they're actually going to make like a web series, like a couple-minute short web series where there's a few videos with a I forget who. Jason David Frank playing Bloodshot. So they're gonna have
White Ranger.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to talk about typecasting?
Exactly right. Well, he was a Green Ranger too, and he was a Black Ranger. He was a few Rangers, man. They didn't typecast him. They're looking at that as, you can look at that as kind of like a test for this character to see how well that does. And then as we get into Vin Diesel doing it.
That doesn't always work though. Look at the Mortal Kombat.
It doesn't.
Those were amazing, and they never did nothing with it.
They didn't translate that anything. But I mean, if they do get him for this, I'm okay with this because he's been trying to get his face on screen as a superhero for a long time. So it was he wanted to be Black Bolt for the Inhumans when they were actually going to do a movie, but then they canceled the movie and then it went to a TV show, and I guess he was like, nah, forget that. And the TV show failed. And he was trying to get something else too. He was, like I said, he's been trying to do this for quite some time. We want him as Panthro.
We do want him as Panthro.
We want him as Panthro. So he's been trying to get his face on screen as a superhero and not just a voice. So hey, give him this. I mean, it's got to have a fan following out there. Valiant Comics have gone on for quite some time. There are people who read this stuff and are a fan of Bloodshot, and it will introduce Vin Diesel will help it be introduced to the world by him being a big actor, being a big name for it.
They're looking at it for 5 pictures, for 5 movies.
God damn, that's a lot.
All right, 5 movie deal, basically. Okay. Whether or not it's
wrap him up just in case it actually becomes big.
Whether or not it's all 5 are Bloodshot movies, or
him featured in other movies.
Exactly.
Because they have other characters. So like X-O-Man of War is the only one that I'm really familiar with from Valiant, and that's because I've seen it in so many. He's crossed over with other different comics, so that's the only reason why I know that one.
So before it was Jared Leto tied to playing that character, and Batista tied to that character.
Vin Diesel will still be the best choice.
What they're aiming for with this is to make it a rated R movie, pretty much along the lines of Total Recall, Predator, RoboCop, that kind of science fiction.
No, they can totally do it.
Violent type of thing.
The audience out that currently go see this movie this is Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody knows this property except for the true diehard fans. Nobody else knows this franchise.
So would it benefit to have an unknown play this character?
No.
And surround him with other big names, like Vin Diesel playing the bad guy, or Vin Diesel playing somebody else, and having the
but then then I think because if you're putting in all these other pieces in it, then I think the production budget goes up, because now you have to pay, even if it's not as much as a Vin Diesel per person. If it's half of that, you times that times 2 or 3, then you might as well have just gotten Vin Diesel.
True, but he's already a solid name. Okay, so you already have the big name that's going to boost an unknown property, but doesn't that turn into another Triple X? It does. It turns into something else. Vin Diesel movie. It doesn't turn into. It does,
but like I said, nobody knows this franchise. I mean, if you look at the comic books, so you got Marvel, you got DC, you got Image. And then if you want to go ahead and if you don't want to do like Dark Horse and IDW and stuff like that, you get Valiant mixed in somewhere with them, and it's not like a top comic book where everybody says like, hey, we know these characters. You have to have something to make people want to go see this.
Carl Urban was not that, Carl Urban is not like that big of a name.
No.
But what he did with Dredd.
Okay, so you want somebody, but Dredd was known. People knew that, but it was like a lot of people knew Dredd. And if you want to give him credit, Sylvester Stallone brought it to everybody else who did not know who Dredd was.
You don't hate Dredd.
Exactly. Sylvester Stallone brought it to light for everybody else who didn't know Dredd. And so if you want to use it as a point, nobody saw it.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody saw it.
It made nothing.
People saw Sylvester Stallone's. Nobody saw Carl Urban's.
And Carl Urban's was
the best one.
It was the best one, and it was pretty much just gave you what the Paul Verhoeven movies were.
Right. So
with
why
everything
you
that
need
it was,
a bigger name.
Shot and everything. So I think that's if they went that route, whether it was Vin Diesel or not, because Vin Diesel's 50 years old.
Right. You know, hey, look,
that has to play.
Did you watch Triple X? They made him look like he was 25 in that movie. He was riding skateboards, climbing fences, you know, having gunfights. I was like, who is this stunt man? He is amazing because it ain't Vin Diesel.
Then hire his stunt man.
Hire his stunt man.
All right. Well, we'll see how that goes. I think that if they really want to go that route and they want to use this property and film it in the same manner that Verhoeven did with the RoboCops and all that. More power to you.
Truer to the subject matter, won't make him money in the box office.
And you know what? There was another show that was talking about this too, and they mentioned Peter Weller versus Kinnaman. Okay. Peter Weller got into that role of RoboCop, and you know, not that many people knew him, but from Buckaroo Banzai and some other stuff here and there.
That was it.
That was it, right? And this one took it, you know, it took it out, you know, and he ran with it. Then he did it again in part 2, you know, but Verhoeven pretty much set the tone with him on that. Kinnaman never stood a chance because everybody kept comparing him to freaking Peter Weller and the entire freaking RoboCop movie as a whole. So he never stood a chance, even though he was an unknown in a well-known property. Okay, so that's why in reverse, I think, I guess to your point, that in reverse, Vin Diesel would elevate an unknown property. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Well, we'll see how it goes. All right, in WTF news, our first WTF of 2018.
Our first one.
I read this and it was pretty freaking weird. New York gym, Hanson Fitness.
Hanson Fitness?
Hanson Fitness. Offering workout classes in the nude.
All right, so I got questions. All right, so
do you want to be standing, or do you want to be have somebody squatting you?
What type of class?
Tyrone, can you get a squat?
Oh God!
Can I get like Ching Wang over there to squat me? Because I don't need Tyrone over here.
Can you lower the temperature in here?
Oh man! What they say is that being nude allows your skin to breathe and releases endorphins.
Well, it allows a lot of things.
There's a lot of things out there, yeah.
Well, it's like, is it like co-ed exercising, or is it just weightlifting? Is it like some type of yoga class?
Well, they be lifting weight with something else if it was co-ed.
God, what's the yoga class?
How about that one? Yeah. I've been trying to do that for
exactly. If it was I mean, it depends on the type of look. I know there's nudists out there, blah blah. The thing's real. All right,
oh man.
So I'm not shocked by the idea of it, but I kind of want to know, like, what is this going to consist of? Is it because they don't have members at this place? They're trying to get people to get memberships to it? Or?
Well, no, they do. Sandra Bullock, Julia Roberts, Tyra Banks all train at this gym.
Man, the paparazzi gonna be there like crazy. And be like crazy, man. Whatever classes they sign up for, they're gonna be full. They're gonna be full.
Oh man! So tell us what you think about working out in the nude. Terrence, take us home.
I knew that was coming. So if you work out in the nude, make sure you send your pictures to thegoods@gmail.com.
Females only.
Females, please. Make sure you put in the comments below. Tell us what you guys think about this topic. We love doing these WTF stories because they become real fun and become a staple of this show. A staple of the show. Make sure you subscribe so that way, if this is the first time you actually saw our video on YouTube, you can get notified of all the other videos that we do on the show, because we do quite a bit of different things that range all different categories.
Regardless of how late we are, Happy New Year from the Goods.
Yeah.
Hope that your year so far started out pretty damn good. I think our has so far.
There you go, and it's going to be great, especially when you sign up for that class.
That's right. We're on the nude. All right. For Aspen and Art, wherever the hell they're at, I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And that was the Goods.
Guys, you're still with us? Great. I know it's the end of the year, and I know you guys are in the holiday spirit, the spirit of giving, right? So we're asking you to give us money. So if you look down below, you'll see where it says patreon.com/thegoods. Right there is if you have an excess amount of cash laying around. If you have not bought enough Christmas presents and you're wondering, who else can I bring joy to this year? Us. That's who you can bring joy to. Have you ever looked at us and you're like, man, they should get a better camera? You're right, because we don't have enough money to. You can help us do that. Patreon.com/thegoods. Help us out. We'd appreciate it. And you can be a part of the goods yourself.